This is Mario Zamron with 210 Local Music Podcast. You're listening to episode 9.
210 local music. 210 local music. Music.
This is 210 Local Music Podcast. We bring art, music, and entertainment to you straight from the Alamo City in San Antonio, Texas, where the culture of our past and the innovation and creativity of tomorrow collide. We're there. You can find us online at www.210localmusic.com, on Twitter, and don't forget to like our fan page on Facebook. Here's your host, Mario Zamron.
Thanks for tuning in to 210 Local Music Podcast. As I said before, this is episode 9. So I've got one more episode before I reach episode 10, which for every podcaster, pretty much every podcaster can tell you that that's kind of the initial goal, just to get those first 10 episodes out, to get the jitters out, to get a little bit more comfortable with the whole thing. I can definitely say that I don't really count myself too much as a public speaker, and in some situations I tend to be quiet. For my closest friends, they would definitely say that I'm not a quiet person, though. So once you get to know me, I do open up quite a bit, and I'm hoping that that's kind of what's occurring now that we're reaching episode 10 soon. Hopefully you'll see that growth, and one bit of growth that I would love to be able to kind of attack is my audio. I really want to say that I appreciate you all hanging in with me on episode 8. I did redo the audio. I did get some feedback saying that it was a little quiet, and I was able to get that sound boosted, and for that I definitely have to thank Christopher Dillard. I really appreciate your help, Chris. I was able to get the audio boosted without losing any quality, and I think that trick will come in handy in the future if I run into those problems again, which hopefully I won't, but you never know with sound. I think as I try to get some gear together, or as the donations come in, I can put it towards making my sound better. So I appreciate y'all hanging in with me there. On the podcast coming up, we are going to have quite a few amazing interviews coming up. I just want to mention a few that I'm all currently in talks with them. Specifically coming up, I've got Slow Like Fire. I've got Jen Alva coming soon, talking about her art. I'm getting something set up with Terra Firma because I went to see them 2 weeks ago on the 10th. I saw them open for Hydra Melody along with some other amazing musicians, Sound of Curves, and they specifically kind of really popped out to me. And I've had their album Eyes of the Sun on pretty much constant repeat along with Hydra Melody. As most of my friends can tell you as well, I kind of get obsessed with things, so after I see a concert, I flood myself with the music, usually before and after the concert. So thanks to Terra Firma for giving me all CD, and pretty soon an interview, and we can get some music played for you guys. I've also got, hopefully, some other artists. Moving into this episode 9, I've got pretty much a brand new group that just started recently out of the embers, per se. Love in Rome. They are right now a duo. I would really have to say they've kind of got this Mazzy Star kind of feel. One thing that I'm really excited about with this episode is they agreed to do an acoustic performance for me. So at the very end, you'll hear one of their songs that's, the title's kind of in flux, I believe, but that's coming up as well. So Love in Rome, thanks again for letting me talk with you guys. And without further ado, here you go. Okay, so I pretty much start off every interview asking, who are you and what do you do?
We're a two-piece indie rock band called Love in Rome, and I play guitar and sing, and James plays drums and he plays guitar as well and other instruments. So.
Well, and Erica, when you started, I think I read that you started off with a violin as a duet. Is that correct?
Yeah, when I first started doing, or just playing, I guess, my career, professional, playing out. And actually, I started in, open mics, a lot of open mics and stuff. And this girl, a friend of mine, played the viola, and it was pretty cool. And she sang backup vocals, and we're kind of like this female Simon Garfunkel. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
And James, before Love in Rome, did you do anything musically with anybody?
I came from like kind of a liturgical music background. I came from playing with my church for about close to probably over 10 years, and I've done like little things here and there, but I don't know, this is kind of moving quickly, so, but nothing like this.
Yeah.
I think everyone that I played with kind of aspired to be connected and to play consistently, live shows, and that's not happened with me so far.
So this marks something completely new for you then?
So far, yeah.
And who got you guys individually into music? James, you said with the church. Did you play before that? Did have influence?
My mom got me into music back when I was like 8 years old. She would play piano, I would play piano, and since then it's just kind of been almost like in my soul, like it, I always felt connected and I wanted to be a part of it. So that started happening more so when I was like 14.
And what other instruments do you play? I know
piano and guitar.
Okay, Erica, who do you think put the musical bug in your ear?
I guess my family as well. Like my dad, he played, or he wrote songs, like in the, I guess, late 60s or mid 60s and 70s, and he released he was like on the radio and stuff, and
oh wow.
Yeah, so, and then just music was always like records and stuff, was growing up listening to whatever my dad was listening to.
Kind of just had everything playing throughout the house.
Yeah, and then I had older siblings that were into whatever was in the 80s, Prince or Molly Crew, Rush, and my brother's a drummer as well, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Musical family too. Do you think any of that had an influence on you, that specific music, or?
Yeah, because my brother introduced me to alternative music, when I was a teenager, and so I'd never before it was alternative or you know what I mean?
Like grunge.
Yeah, I guess right when he introduced me to Pearl Jam and Smashing Pumpkins and the Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and then I just fell in love with that particular genre.
Do you think there's any particular one or two artists that had a real impact on your style of music?
Yeah, probably Mazzy Star, and they're probably one of the main inspirations, and Sparkle Horse.
Mazzy Star just finally released something.
Yeah, I know.
New. Very exciting. It's been 10, 15 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Do you think they'll have difficulty being relevant, or do you think it'll just
I don't think so,
fans will pick right back up?
they have such a huge cult following.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't think they have a problem.
And James, what kind of music influenced you to begin with, band-wise? I know.
I really like post-rock. Coming from the liturgical background, there's this I guess subgenre of stuff called liturgical post-rock. It comes from a guy named Michael Gungor. He has his own band, Michael Gungor Band. But that and just post-rock, modern post-rock, I really like that stuff. The ambient sounds like Sigur Rós and Explosions in the Sky, stuff like that. That's where I really connect. I really like the soulful, emotional things.
Yeah. Are you gonna get to check out Explosions in the Sky? I think they're opening for Nails.
I wasn't gonna pay $90, but I wish. I haven't seen 9 Inch Nails either, so all of that would have been a treat.
So how did you guys specifically meet? I know Let Us Swan recently broke up, so I know musically you were saying that, I think I'd read an interview that you had done saying that you had kind of felt like you were done with music for a little while, and then you started playing guitar again and kind of
but that
right back
didn't
up.
happen at all. It was a thought in my mind, or
just a
emotion.
quick pause.
Yeah, but it just I was already started writing and playing almost immediately.
Wow.
So.
And you guys met?
We met through
Film talking about the Evergreen. I mean, that's really weird.
Yeah, we met at the place off Evergreen, which is like a DIY venue.
Oh, okay.
The house off Evergreen, and I was playing a show there, and James was there, and a friend of ours, mutual friend Jay, he plays in a local band called Zidge, and he introduced us, and he was like, "You guys should play together."
Yeah.
And so.
My story is, he was telling me about you, and then I wanted to go to that party. It was like one of their, I think it was the last live gig that they had at Evergreen. They used to do it like every Saturday night. It was like the best place for live music, but the cops and the city was just not having it.
Trying to shut it down.
Yeah, and it was shut down. They're fined like every week, and that's what shut it down. But this guy, Jay, was, wanting to do a side project with me, and he was, captivated by Erica, and he was talking about her, and then I went and saw her at Evergreen, and I was captivated by it. Like, at the moment, it sounded like very airy and shoegazy, like Sigur Rós, and which is an Icelandic band. But and I was just gonna play because she had some other guitar player playing with her, and the drums weren't being used, but I couldn't see drumsticks. But I didn't want to be the guy out there. There was no drumsticks. I made sure of it before I decided I wasn't going to play. But I was going to play with her because I just wanted to jump on with her. But from then on, we started communicating, and we've been jamming here.
And how long has that been?
Like a month and a half.
Yeah, about a month and a half. Roughly a month.
So this really is very, very new for you.
For us, yeah.
Yeah, for both of us. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Now, before Let Us One, were you in any other bands prior to that, or was that your first?
Yeah, Let Us One was my first band.
And James, before jamming out with Erica, was there any?
I played with. I mean, it was all stints. For me, like, I don't know. I'm very picky, but I've played with Carly Garza and Blue Means Go. I've played with the guys from Sugar Skulls, Nathaniel and Jeff, and I've played with just Matt Adler. He's actually an upcoming artist right now, and his ex-wife in a band called Adler. That was fun. And then I come from a punk rock background. I played with the guys in 23 in the Pants. We played as the Kleptos back when I was like 16, and that was like the furthest I've gone in live music. That was, for about a good year or two, playing live shows and in the punk rock scene and stuff like that.
That sounds like a very nice, thick musical outline right there.
It's quite eclectic, but yeah.
That's very awesome. Kind of going back to just the last time I mentioned Let Us One, are there any commonalities that you find between the style of music that you did in Let Us One versus where you're wanting to head with Love and Rome?
I think it's different. I mean, the commonality is probably just maybe a similar genre, but Let Us One was more rock or a little bit more pop rock. And
like James said, this is a little bit more airy.
Yeah.
Going back to music that you have listened to growing up, do you have any guilty pleasures, like bands or musicians that you listen to that you wouldn't normally claim to have listened to or enjoyed?
I mean, I do, but I'm not really like a musical snob, so I just like
whatever you want.
Whatever, yeah. Like, so I mean, I don't really have any. I mean, I guess they are guilty pleasures, but I mean, I like.
You don't see them that way.
Yeah.
Other people might.
Right. Yeah.
Do you have any specifically that come to mind, like a good example?
There's a band that I like, Pierce the Veil, yeah, and I guess maybe someone might say that's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that is a guilty pleasure.
I like was watching one of their videos and acoustic, and I was like, man, that's a pretty. But see, like I try not to like have a be like.
I'm not going to listen to that.
Yeah, because if it's good, it's good, and it was actually pretty good. Like the riffs he was doing and stuff, and pretty badass. So, like, wow.
James, obviously, Pierce the Veil would not be
I
one
never
that you
got
cop
into
to.
them. No. But mine, I always got. I mean, even still, it's carried on still. It's just like all the pop punk stuff. The emo music, I still listen to it. I still do.
Like AFI or...
Not AFI, but kind of stuff like what, like Secondhand Serenade. Like I still play that stuff. I don't know why, and just kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
Aside from the way you describe y'all's music, is there a particular genre that, like, and I've said this before in interviews, I'm not a fan of marking or labeling a genre per se, because I find that a lot of San Antonio bands don't limit themselves that way. Do you guys claim a specific label, or do you do the same as everyone else, just it is what it is?
Well, I mean, I think it's important for a band to understand what they're doing, like have some sort of direction, and it's kind of a pet peeve of mine when a band can't describe their sound, because I mean, how are you going to know where to play and
what audience?
Yeah, exactly, like what venues to play and what your vision is. So I just sort of describe it as it's ethereal, but it's driving at the same time rock. So
It's like almost. It's kind of a branch from indie post rock, some ambient stuff. But yeah, there's some rock influences there.
Yeah, because some of the songs we've been writing are like, that upbeat, like just very like, indie rock, like punk, and then other songs are
kind of
pretty and emotional. Mm-hmm.
So, are you guys both from San Antonio?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you find that has any sort of... Does that influence you guys in any way, shape, or form with the music that you make? Being a San Antonian, do you feel that you have a particular sound because of it, or...?
It's influenced me. I mean, the culture almost kind of cultivates, music within us, or encourages us to play music, because it's everywhere. It's everywhere in San Antonio. You get the mariachis. It's everywhere. It's great. Like, I don't know if I would have been influenced so much if I lived elsewhere, because I'm kind of, biased because I've always lived here. But yeah, the Hispanic culture has, encouraged music for sure.
Yeah, as far as like, I mean, I get influenced by just, it could be like just an emotion or like something I see or a movie or, so I mean, I don't know, I think, but yeah, I mean, I do enjoy the way the city is growing and seeing like how everybody in the music scene, everybody's like friends, and it's really cool because
tight-knit community.
And that's like very rare.
Castro's great. I really like Castro, the mayor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's always just been aware of what the community wants, and if the community wants music, he's all for it. I mean, we do it all the time downtown. The little
like Market Square.
Yeah,
Main
stuff
Plaza.
like that. Yeah.
Main Plaza is starting to do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to, we there could be street corner players. The city has kind of an awareness of, people wanting to play music. Not everybody can play on the street corner. It depends on the cops. The cops are the problem.
Yeah.
The mayor's not the problem.
Well, as a matter of fact, kind of what, like I had started a blog about local music, and then it eventually turned into the podcast. Part of what led to that was seeing that Girl in a Coma had opened for the State of the County Address, and Judge Nelson Wolff said that he wanted to make San Antonio the new music capital, live music capital of Texas. Do you think?
I've heard something like that, yeah.
Do you think that could be possible?
Live music capital, right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's not the metal capital of the United States.
That's kind of what
It was, and I did not like that.
I think that it could. It's a nice thought, and I think that the talent is definitely here, and I think we just have to have like a healthy music scene and economy. You need to have like not just the bands, but also like the venues, investing into their venue, like invest in their sound, and the promoters need to invest in their promotions, and yeah, so sound is like a big thing, and acoustics in the venue, because I mean, if you're gonna be a music venue,
You have to have this.
yeah, you should invest the money in that. So to be that like music town, because we definitely have there are music fans, and then
Oh, yeah.
San Antonio is so spread out, though. That's the thing, is like trying to reach out to those people that wouldn't typically like pick up a current, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
People out
kinda
that are not
limited.
downtown or whatever or whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but I think that it's a good like goal to have, and I believe in like people that are trying to do cool things like SATX Music and other like promoters like.
Yeah, I've seen like Local 72 and.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we need. I mean, the tools are there. The tools are there. The promoters are there. Just needs to take off. You know, I don't know, how it worked for Austin, so much, but it could work here. Maybe better venues.
Yeah.
Better owners of the venues. Just the tools are there. It just needs to be run. Or take off and emerge. And,
like the owners of the venues that actually like need to foster like artists, because you never know if like, just hypothetically speaking, like Love and Rome, like maybe we could be the next whatever like big thing, but if we just need that chance, like the people are helping us, and it's cool to have like Local 72, and they do like outreach, and I actually help organize with them too, and like certain promoters that take care of the bands, like Drunken Monkey Promotions. These Anthony's really good about that. We just did a show with him at High Tones, and
I really
he takes care of his band.
really
like just people like that are gonna.
And the owner, Danny, he was very, very helpful, and we needed to put up flyers, and he was like, looking for staplers, looking for tape. We came a little unprepared. We were like, let's take out flyers, but we forgot tape. And Danny was just like, yeah, man, whatever you need. And he stopped his little group meeting and kind of helped us out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. There's more people like that for sure. And that already is like making a difference. But
because in the long run, it helps them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If we feel comfortable, we put on a good thing.
It brings you guys back.
Exactly. It brings people back to come back, tomorrow, next week to have a chamoy shot or something. So.
It's funny, I was talking with Hydra Melody earlier, and one thing that they had said was that, I think one thing that we had talked about was that venues, it tends to be, hey, I want to open a bar, and we're going to have drinks, and we're going to have lights, and we should have somebody play music. Right. And where it should be is, hey, I want to open a music venue, and we can't forget there should be a bar somewhere.
Exactly.
The focus should be shifted.
Yeah, exactly. The focus should be like
maybe we should get a liquor license. I don't know.
Yeah, the sound.
Let's worry about a PA first.
Yeah, and that's what I hear quite a bit from the bands that I've gotten to interview and the musicians I've gotten to talk to, is that the major thing lacking is the sound, and it's hard to find a place that will provide that good of sound. Aside from that, I mean, are there places in particular, I mean, since we're able to get plugged, since you're able to plug whoever you want, are there places that, like High Tones that you mentioned, that you want to say, hey, we love this place, we love this venue, we want to go back, we want to bring people here?
Well, we haven't really, with Love and Rome we've played High Tones, we played, before.
Yeah, we've been to like every music venue in here, and like wherever we want to play, like, High Tones is great. I would love to play there every week.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play there, and I'm glad that we we got to play there, like one of our first shows.
Yeah.
So.
I haven't met owners or anybody else, but 502 Bar is nice. Fitzgerald is nice.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, and they're doing a lot of shows there too.
Yeah.
Backstage Live would be great, but I don't know how that's ran.
Yeah, actually I have a friend that's doing a show there at the end of September, and he basically, since this was his completely first foray into music at all, into live music, he went there and approached them, and he's got the whole setup going now. But yeah, I've heard a couple of shows there, and their sound's pretty decent. They've got a nice setup, and I think one of the big things, specifically for the places that you guys have mentioned, and that we've mentioned as well, or I mentioned as well, they have a social media presence.
Yeah.
And they promote who's showing. That's something that you had mentioned as well, James, that they need to do is focus on promoting the bands as well.
Yeah, the manager there is Jim Meek, from the band Meek. It was one of the.
I went to high school with him.
Yeah, one of the great dude.
We were in jazz band together.
That's what I used to listen to in high school.
Oh yeah.
And I would see those guys, and it was great music. And then they did something in Austin called Passenger, and that was great too. I actually like Passenger a little more, but I still wish I had that album. And I've actually sent him a message on Facebook. I was like, hey man, I'm missing this album, I really, but I never got a response. But yeah, so there's a sensitivity to live music, because it's ran by, a musician.
Yeah. And that probably definitely makes a difference, rather than a businessman who wants to make money off the bar versus a musician who wants to open.
He really knows how it works.
Yeah, so 502 and High Tones and the Mix, even though like it's a small, is what it's an intimate venue. So yeah, I love Mix is one of my favorite places to play. So.
Do you think that also kind of influences how you guys play, the intimacy of it, or?
Absolutely. Yeah. For me and Erica, for me as a musician and approaching this, like it's about the spirit, the energy, and the soul of that moment. We were recording last night, and I recorded one drum track, and it was very soulful and very good, and I was kind of in the zone. I was vibing for and then the next one, there was just, I don't know, it was a little chaotic, the process, and it killed the spirit, and they wanted me to punch in, and I wanted to play the whole thing, through over and over and over again until I got it right, but they wanted me to punch in, and punching in kind of takes away from the music. So it's, for me and Erica, I feel how I'm with my approach is, it's all about the live, the live performance, and we're catching that in the recordings. That's what I want. That's what I hope for, and I think that's what we're doing.
For you, the listeners of 210 Local Music Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. You might want to check out The Secret History of Rock and Roll, The Mysterious Roots of Modern Music by Christopher Knowles. Or, for something a little more local, you could try Latino USA, San Antonio band Girl in a Coma by Maria Hinojosa. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/210localmusic. Again, that's audibletrial.com/210localmusic for your free audiobook.
210 local music.
This is Miguel Romero from Phonolux, and you're listening to 210 Local Music Podcast.
Bands back in the 90s, for example, you had bands that were great recorded and horrible live.
Or great live and horrible recorded.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I don't want.
You're trying to find that balance between the two.
Yeah.
To really connect.
Yeah, definitely. That was like a concern for me. I was like contemplating the recording. So I was like, I know I feed off the audience, and so, but I'm glad that James and I we were able to
create that.
Yeah, in the studio.
Yourselves.
So we just play kind of like we're playing live, and we do that in the studio.
And it's quite the emergent process because we're still figuring things out, with recording and live, because we really want to just keep it as us, as a duo. I play 3 different instruments, and so with the recording, we want to, kind of just make it as full as possible, bring in like a solo guitar part, matching a melody, strings, things like that, and then we have the live performance, which could be better, could be different, so we're still figuring it out, but we're coming from a 2-piece, playing live, and then with the recording we're just trying to pull it up as much as possible.
Do you think the 2-piece is the format you're wanting to stay, or you're definitely looking to add more musicians to fill those spots?
We're very comfortable with each other. Yeah, we work well with each other. We drive each other.
Yeah, I like the
crazy enough.
I like the idea of I want it to be a 2-piece.
Yeah. Kind of adds to that intimacy factor as well, with not having so many people crowded around you.
Well, no one's doing this guy girl 2-piece. There's probably the greatest 2-piece in San Antonio is Lonely Horse. It's 2 dudes. Nick's great, Travis is great. Travis is an amazing drummer.
Like locally, you mean?
But yeah, in San Antonio, there's no male-female duet, duo. But there's quite a few in indie music, kind of the indie rock and roll stuff, or kind of the pop rock, and that's what I'm turned on to. It's cool because it makes you wonder: is there a connection? Is there not a connection? What's the music about? Me and Erica are both writing music about the same things. Pretty much just kind of the complications of love and our anger and hopes, towards it.
Same boat.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
So it's totally fresh beginning from anything and everything. Trying to.
And then what happens if you bring in another guy or bring in another girl? Like, if we brought in another girl, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's enough with just me, I guess. I don't know. And it's enough guys with just James, so.
Yeah.
Because, I came from a 5-piece, and I was the only girl for a while, so.
Did you feel that hindered your voice in any way, musically, or just a different dynamic?
Yeah, it's just a different dynamic, and I think that, it was just musically different dynamic, and the song's more guitar-driven, so.
We have a lot of freedom, just the 2 of us.
Yeah, the music changes, going back to that freedom. In a band, is like, when there's more than 2 people, the music changes a lot, so, like, a song changes so much, in a good way, most of the time, but sometimes I've always liked the idea of, like, it's more focused with a 2-piece, and I kind of think it allows for more creativity, personally.
And James, you said sometimes too much freedom. Are there things that you run into that took off maybe?
All the time.
Have to rein it back in?
Yeah, all the time. Sometimes I think we don't speak up enough, and sometimes I feel like we're, in fear of speaking up, but it happens.
To each other?
We do, yeah. But it does happen. We do.
Well, yeah, we're learning. We're learning. So we're new. This is our new project.
I think that's what's really interesting about you guys is that it is fresh. It is new. It's a new experience for the fans. It's a new experience for you guys, and that was one of the main reasons I wanted to interview you guys so early, is to kind of catch you in that process, to see where the growth eventually gets you guys, the process that you have to, the road that you have to take there. Because musically, you're right, there's nothing like this going on right now. So it's exciting for that to be new. It's exciting for that to come to San Antonio and see how it flourishes. So I'm excited that you guys are thinking of keeping it as a 2-piece. I think that's a nice change, especially going back to what you said about we used to be known as the heavy metal capital. So it'd be nice to get out from under that thumb and change that.
Mm-hmm.
People have an appreciation, I think, for 2-piece. I know I certainly do. Like, some of my favorite bands are 2-3-piece. I'm amazed that they do what they do, and so that's why I have like faith that we could totally. Yeah. Yeah, we're already doing it, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the teasers that you guys have put like on YouTube, I mean, I can't, like, it's a very short teaser, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to hear more.
I know, I get upset too. I'm like, oh, but that's the chorus.
Yeah, it's like a cliffhanger. It's like, okay, I'll just play this clip over and over and over again.
That part is still coming up.
Well, that's awesome, and I think that's what you guys have going as well, as that mystery. You know, what's this new project about? What's going on musically here? And I think that'll definitely be something that helps you guys in the long run. And what'll keep the fans is that intimacy that you guys will have with the audience. You know,
and mystery too, because when somebody doesn't get everything they want right away, they still want it, and they want it a whole lot more.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. So, where do you see yourselves in 5 years?
Us together, I mean, having a refined craft, refined, path, defined path, and I would say we could be, doing national stages, working with national acts, touring, an album.
Yeah, I think like one of our 2-year goals is an album, a full-length album, touring, and we're recording an EP right now, so.
How much do you have together for the EP? Is there anything that's completely done, or is it all still in process?
It's still in process.
Yeah, there's I'd say 4 complete drum tracks done. And I would say maybe, depending if I punch in or not, probably there's another drum track that's like 60% done. And then there's one more song where I'm probably gonna have some like electronic drums or synth drums or some kind of synth beat, and the EP the drums will be done.
Yeah.
So maybe in like a week we'll be halfway, maybe 30-40%.
Yeah, because we're already, the drums are like the I don't know technical speaking, but drums are always like the hardest, and then so once we were almost done with that, we're like 90% done with the drums. Yeah. And then actually I'm gonna start recording guitars this weekend, so on Sunday.
That's great. Well, just throwing the offer out there, if you guys want to premiere anything, teaser, musically anything, you can definitely throw it up on the podcast and on the website. Get y'all's name out there a little bit more too.
Cool.
I'd definitely love to help promote you guys. When you guys actually do get to play shows together more often, what do you want your audience to kind of take away from the experience?
A message.
And that message?
That message of being, I don't know, just guard your heart, pursue your heart, pursue your dreams, let the music lead you, let the music be a reflection, let your heart be a reflection of the music. That's what I hope for.
Eric?
A connection. So yeah, pretty much.
Even discussing things, you guys vibe off each other. It's like you guys have the same sentence in your mind. I think that's awesome. I think that'll definitely come through in the music as well. Kind of a question I ask everybody: if someone were to write a biography about Love in Rome, what would it be titled? And I know you guys are still very young in the Love in Rome experience, but if somebody were to peg that down right now,
would it be titled?
Oh man, I would have to think about that. I can't answer that quickly. I don't know.
Be like, I don't know, yin yang, because we're like.
You know what? We kind of got this Taoist thing going on right now.
Yeah, and it's funny because the other day we took these press photos, and or promo shots, and we were both wearing, like, we didn't plan it out, but he was wearing white and I was wearing black. And we're like the yin yang.
Yeah.
So, we didn't even think about it.
That's funny. I think I saw you tweeting that as well about being yin yang. So do you think, I mean, this is kind of the first mention of religion. You're obviously familiar with Taoism. Is there a religion that you guys claim, or is there a religion that speaks to you that comes out in the music?
I'm spiritual.
Just in general?
Yeah, I'm just spiritual, yeah. I don't know that much about her, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably like the same, spiritual.
And that has a place in the music as well?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Is that just in the experience, in the writing itself, in the performance?
Yes, everything.
All?
Mm-hmm.
Finally, where can people find you? I know your social media presence is out there, like links, like Twitter handles.
So www.twitter.com, Love and Rome Band. And then on Facebook, it's just www.facebook.com, Love and Rome, /Love and Rome.
A website?
Yeah, we got the name almost everywhere. There's no name out there. No bands named Love and Rome. So we kind of went out there. Yeah, we kind of went out there and got all the social websites, all the music social websites, and
I'm gonna create an Instagram as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can get that. Yeah, we need to hurry.
And then a website.
I think that's open.
We'll be getting that up and running too. It'll probably be like Love and Rome Music, or probably loveandromeband.com.
Well, once that's solidified, I can definitely put those links on the site as well.
Cool. Awesome.
And kind of something that I had been asked about after a couple of episodes, a gearhead section. What kind of instruments do you guys play?
Fender, Tully. My Gibson acoustic is I have a songwriter. I think it's called a songwriter. And it sounds really amazing. But as far as guitars, that's what I use. Vocals, I have like this really cool TC Helicon vocal pedal that I love. And I'm just getting into guitar pedals, so I got like a cool delay recently, and my amp is a Fender. I love Fender, so yeah. I have a Fender DeVille tube amp. It's pretty awesome.
It gives that warmth because of the tubes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to find that in anything else. Mm-hmm. It has to be tube, right?
Yeah, I think so. It makes a big difference.
James?
Sure.
I play live with a little Gretsch 4-piece jazz set with some Zildjians and a Sabian. And then here I play with a stand-up Yamaha piano, and then I got a Tim Armstrong signature acoustic Fender.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for the interview portion. Now we've got the acoustic portion coming up. So I appreciate you guys coming on the show and letting me interview you guys. Like I said, I know you're still very new, but I wanted to kind of get a hold of you guys before you took off.
Cool. Well, thank you for having us.
Today's podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/210localmusic. Over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
210 local music.
Do you have titles for the stuff you guys have worked on yet, or is that something you do last?
We have titles for the songs. Mm-hmm. This one's called See in Your Eyes, or In Your Eyes. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. This week has actually been really busy for quite a few San Antonio bands. First of all, there's going to be a show this Saturday at Leon, which used to be the former location of the Rev Room. It'll be Phonolux, Dance Like Robots, Terra Firma, and DJ Victima. I believe Phonolux, this is probably going to be their CD release. I know they're going to have some merch there as well, so definitely check them out. That's August 24th, 9 p.m. at 8123 Broadway. Again, that's called Leon. Next, of course, we've got Slow Like Fire's CD release, actually the same day at Jack's Patio. That's going to be for their album, Thieves by Nature. You definitely want to check them out as well. So if you can clone yourself, send one clone to one concert, the other clone to the other concert, and then maybe call each other and talk about it. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can't really miss either of them, so good luck. I'm actually going to be at the Slow Like Fire release, so I really am going to miss Phonolux and Terra Firma. And the next day on the 25th is actually going to be the CD release for Matt Adler. That's going to be at Sam's Burger Joint. You can hear one of Matt Adler's songs, I Do, on the 210 Local Music Radio episode, which will be released on the podcast soon. Right now, you can check that out at www.blogtalkradio.com/210localmusicradio. Also, local band The Heroine will have their CD release on August 30th at the White Rabbit. And I'm actually hoping to get something set up with them soon. So needless to say, it is going to be a very busy couple of weeks. Thanks again for listening to episode 9 of 210 Local Music Podcast, and I can't wait to see you all back next episode. Please feel free to check out our Facebook page and our Twitter at 210localmusic.com. You can also check out our website at 210lm.com, or if you're not being lazy, you can definitely type in the whole thing, 210localmusic.com. And if you're interested in audiobooks, please check out the Audible offer on the website as well. Thanks again for listening. I'm really excited again that Love and Rome did an acoustic set. I'm excited to also tell you that I will be getting more acoustic sets as we go on. So just kind of throw that teaser out for you guys. Anyway, thanks again. Take care.